We are hosting.
Hi everyone, welcome Monday time. That's not what people say, but that's okay. Wow, thank you for the sub. Our guest just subbed on the
No,
wow.
that's
I'd never
that's
had that
great.
happen before, so that's fun. Um, hi Blackboard, hi Rascal and Emil, Naughton. Also, hi Naughton, I haven't seen you for a while. So, Nafi's here, or Live Healthy as you see them in chat, and as they have a what's it called, a Twitch channel that they're gonna be doing things like this on, right? Um,
Yes, correct.
but we're gonna do a live behavioral interview today. Nafis, do you want to tell them about you?
Yeah. Hey guys, my name's Nafis. I work in tech. I work for a cybersecurity company, so I talk to CTOs, CISOs all day, and so I sell into the cybersecurity space. The reason why I'm here today because when I broke into tech, I got used to doing a lot of interviews. I kind of mastered the interviewing process. So when I switched from one like my last job a couple months ago to this one, it literally only took me two to 3 weeks to land a job with an offer signed and everything. So that's kind of why I'm here today.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's great. No, Nafis was telling me right before we went live that when you want to get a job, like you will get a job, right? Isn't that what you're saying?
Yeah, you gotta visualize success. Like every time when I'm interviewing, I'm like, I know I'm gonna get a job. You're gonna send me off regardless because that's what I want. So you have to visualize what you want to do and it will happen. It's gonna be tough, it's gonna be ups and downs, but you have to, in darkness, you gotta find the light.
There you go, inspiration. Visualizing a pizza. So I have an interview tomorrow, like an actual interview. So this would be a really, really great preparation for that. Have I prepared? No, but that's okay. We are going to be using the questions from the 100 Devs bank of questions, and Nafis will ask me a couple before they have to hop off in like an hour or so. So, yeah, we can get to it.
Cool. All right, we ready?
Ready. I
All
mean,
right.
sort of.
Okay, Ruth. Thank you for taking time with me today. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. So let's. I got a tight schedule. I got to be out of here by on the top of the hour. So we're gonna jump right into it. Okay.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Awesome. So tell me about yourself.
Yeah, so I am from Salt Lake City in the US. I graduated in 2020 with a degree in philosophy and Spanish. And while I was in college, I worked with the Native American Language Preservation Project, except we didn't have any way to directly like show how we were preserving the language. When I graduated from college, I decided to make an online talking dictionary which would incorporate the recordings we've been getting for a couple years and bring the language into kind of the modern era for people to be able to learn online. So I made that, and that is initially what got me into web development and here today.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you for that. Next question. Why do you want to work for our company?
Okay, so just like a little side note, we're gonna pretend this is Fidelity because that's who I'm interviewing with tomorrow, okay? I really like the way that Fidelity treats their teams and how you've described it to me. You've told me that there's a huge emphasis on collaboration and teamwork, and I do really well in that sort of dynamic. I have a Twitch channel where I will like do live coding and I pair program with people all the time. So I think that I would be a beneficial addition to your team as well.
Cool. Awesome. Cool. Great answer. So tell me about a time that you had to work on several projects at once and how did you handle it?
Yeah, that's a really great question. When I was in college, when I first initially got to college, I didn't know how to multitask at all. And I had my first college test and I got like a B plus, and I had never gotten any score that low before. And I realized pretty quickly that I had, 18 credits that I was taking and a lot more tests than just one, and I had to find a way to navigate that. So I tried to sit down and write every day, like, what are the things that I needed to get done, and when certain, like, classes or meetings were, and kind of plan out my study schedule according to that. And with this sort of structured schedule, I was able to get good grades the rest of my college career. Now, I do think I need to say what Born just said. I need to say how I can contribute to Fidelity. I'm not sure how I would do that at the end of that question, though.
But that was more that I could say. I'll tell you now. So you want to say more about like why do you want to work for us? Or tell about the company. Tell more about the company and kind of use like there's a method called the STAR method. So
Right, right,
it stands for situational, task, action, result.
right,
So you want to set the scene, kind of tell the story, and then you want to explain exactly what steps you took to address it.
right.
And then the result is share what outcomes you got from those actions and what you learned from it. So then you want to tie all that back into why you want to work in for the company. That's kind of how you want to do it. So you tell the story, the task that you had, the action that you use, and the result from it.
Okay. I feel like I followed that. I didn't tie it into the company though, and I'm still
Yeah,
trying to just think like what I could have said that would have tied it into the company. Just like,
that would be all done by like that's just from your company research. So the more research that you do, the better it will be. So you want to check the blog chats, Twitter, Instagram, anything. If you find something off the blog that shows that you actually did your research, that was literally it'll step you ahead of any next candidate. So if you can find something from a blog post and related to a story that you're telling, the question that you asked, guarantee you'll get hired.
yeah. So maybe before I go to the interview tomorrow, I should find like a couple blog posts with like big, specifically like company-wide things they're doing, like that.
Yeah, just something like that. This shows that you know the company. Like I always prepare like it's a game. So I want to know every little thing about my opponent. So that way I'll win the game. So if you know just as much or make it look like you know just as much of the company that they know, and it'll make you look so much better. They're like, oh, this person we don't have to spend that much time with. This person we don't have to spend, they won't have to stay on ramp so long. They're ready to do more things on their own quicker. So if it shows that you know like a more about the company than you really are, and it'll separate you from the next person.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna write that down right now because you told me this before and I totally forgot. So
Uh,
love it for me.
so you write it down now, and then we'll go on to the next question. Question in chat. So Born said, "Are they closing offices?" Okay, so ask about the remote thing. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
All right.
Tell me when you're ready. So tell me, we're thinking about if you go into more of like 1 day a week, kind of like a hybrid. Most of the week you'll be remote. 1 day a week you have to go in the office just because it's easier to kind of sync up with things. How do you feel about that?
I'm totally fine with that. I mean, I think I can work pretty dynamically online as well as in person, though in person I think it wouldn't be bad because then you can be there in person with other people. I can interact with you and the rest of the team, and you can interact with me, and we can, communicate just a little bit better. Because I think in most like online situations, there's like body language, etc., missing. So, I mean, I don't think it would be a problem. I think it would actually be pretty beneficial for everyone.
Okay, great answer. Tell me about a time when you had to deal with a conflict with your team and how was that conflict resolved? How did you handle it? And how would you deal with it now?
Yeah, so I used to work at an apartment complex, and it was kind of like this little mom and pop complex. So there wasn't a strong like structure in place for this company for work and payment, etc. The manager wasn't the best at telling the employees when like what they would be doing that week or what materials they needed that week. So there was a lot of like unnecessary traveling and back and forth, and people just got really frustrated, and turnover for employees was really high. I was working as an assistant manager at a time, and it was kind of hard to find people to work there all the time with this sort of attrition happening and this not great like work structure. So I sat down with the manager and I told him about what I thought was concerning, what I was noticing, and what we could do about it, which was before each work week, I could sit down with him. He would tell me what apartments needed fixed, or like if we needed to call a plumber, etc. And we would write that down, and then we would, based on that list, figure out what appliances or things needed to be bought beforehand so we could maximize the time working, if at all possible.
Cool. Great answer. Okay. Next question. Tell me about a situation when you made a mistake at work. What exactly happened? How did you deal with it? And what steps did you take to improve the situation?
That's a great question. Mistake at work. I guess I would say in the same apartment job as I just mentioned, I was assistant manager, but I also did a lot of accounting work. And taxes are due once a year, so I didn't have to necessarily be on top of all of the taxes all the time. But there's a certain point in the year where you do have to have all the reconciliations and everything done in order for the accountant, or like the actual accountant, to file taxes, etc. And there was this one year where I wasn't on top of it for multiple reasons, and the property owners got on me and were like, "Hey, we really, really need like the books reconciled. Can you get that done?" And I mean, they shouldn't have had to ask me, but since they did and I realized the mistake, I sat down and I planned out which days I would work and like how many hours I would work specifically on like this one problem, and I got it done within a week. So,
Okay, cool. So Born said, I'm going to address Born questions. It said you should write the questions down. My opinion is either or. Me personally, I'd rather just read it and memorize it, because if I were to just read off the paper, it sounds like a robot. It sounds like a script. It doesn't sound authentic. It's not going to sound like you. But that's just me. So it all depends what works for you. So if you're better, since it's going to be virtual, if you can write it down, easier for you, you can still make it sound authentic, do it. If not, memorize it, because no one knows your story better than you. So if you keep telling the story as many times as possible, you're just going to remember it like that. So that's totally up to you and whatever works for you. But my opinion is just try to memorize it. And the more you do it, the more you remember.
so I actually did have like all of these answers I've answered before and I've
Yeah.
memorized. I just haven't studied them in a while. So
Okay.
I that was me trying to be like, okay, what did I write down for this answer? Like, what am I supposed to say here? But like, born like I have answered all of these except for that one, the like 1 day a week thing. I
Yeah,
haven't
that
had
was
that one
kind of
answered.
that was kind of like one I got before when I was going through it. So that was kind of wasn't on the sheet. That was the one I kind of just made up and threw a curveball. But you answered it pretty well.
Thanks.
All right. So next question. What do we have here? Describe a situation in which you experienced difficult in getting others accepted to accept your ideas. What was your approach? How did this work? Were you able to successfully persuade someone to see things your way?
Yeah, that's a good question as well. So I got into tech a couple years ago, but I got into it from a family of people who went into medicine. Like both of my parents are nurses. So there's not a lot of background or context with tech. So when I told my parents, hey, I'm a developer, like I'm going into that, they had a very like knee jerk, super negative reaction. They're like, well, computers, I don't even know what that means. So I want my parents' approval. And so I determined that like this was something I needed to address and hopefully get them on board to support me so that we could have, a good relationship with each other. And so I sat down with them and I started from kind of the beginning. Like, this is what computers do. And if you look at Netflix, you see how like it's structured. Someone made that. And so I just kind of slowly started explaining it to them from points of view that I thought like might make sense to them, with context that might make sense to them, and gave them a better understanding of what it was that I was even doing and studying. And once they like found out, and once they fully understood, they were more on board. Like, granted, like they're still like think I should be a doctor, but like they were more on board when they finally understood what it was that I was doing.
Okay.
Probably an example of an argument with another coder about the proper way to write or structure something. Have we had that? Have I had that happen even though?
Um, do not know.
I mean, I can try and reform it. A lot of these, like, this is like my first, like, big girl
Yeah.
job, right? And so a lot of these, I'm like, oh, like, I don't
Yeah,
really
if
have
it's
to.
like, for example, for you, like if you don't have a lot of example, like for coding or being in like an argument or something like that related to something else, like another job, you got to argue with something like that. Just similar situation, but not the same field. Just pull a story from a past job, or if you played sports or art, pull something together and weave it into your story somehow. So it's going to take time to kind of really think about it. But
Mhm.
once you find the right story, it'll go together pretty seamlessly.
So with that response, should I try and like make it not about like convincing my parents that I should go into tech, but rather something related to another job I've had?
It's really doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be tech related. Like for me, when I got into tech months ago, I didn't have tech, but I had like 15 plus years of direct sales experience from B2B, door to door, hardcore sales stuff where, majority of my career was 100% commission. I had to kill what I eat. If I didn't sell, I didn't make money, I didn't pay my bills. So I pull a lot of that stories together, and that translated well for me for tech sales. So you can do the same for you. Just pull stories from your life that you can find a way to relate it to coding or your part of your industry. It might take you time to kind of really think about how to work, but that's the best way to do it.
Okay. I'll have to try and maybe come up with a new answer for that one. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, because you have work experience, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yes,
some. Yep,
some.
some. Some work experience. So try to relate to that. They're depending who you're going to interview for. Like maybe a startup won't have this resource to really invest time in, for ramp time and all like that. Because I work for a startup now. But if say you go to like Microsoft, Amazon, other companies like that, they're more likely the companies that hire, junior developers, and they can invest time and give you a long ramp time to really learn and hone your craft. So all you got to figure out where you want to go if you want to get to a startup or a big company. It's all totally up to you. Two different paces. Startup is really fast paced, a lot of figure out on your own, a lot of don't relax, a lot of questions. You got to figure it out. The bigger companies, they try to treat the training. They have a plan. They have a ramp time, onboarding process all smoothly. It all really depends which one.
Right. I mean, I haven't really like narrowed down like what company I've wanted, because at this point, like it's like I just need like a company to hire me. I don't want to say
Okay.
that because that sounds desperate, but like I haven't really looked into that. But like, should I, even if I don't care? Like,
Yeah, I would look at it all, explore your options. Like I looked when I was getting into tech, I looked at all the options from bigger companies, smaller companies.
mhm,
You know, what I learned is, yeah, I want to go for, everyone wants to go for the big salary, the big compensation packages, but that
mhm,
may not actually be the best fit for you. I'm seeking for experience.
right,
I took less off my base salary, but the same amount of commission um, to go to a different company. Like it was like my base salary is 20,000 an hour less than I was making before. But where I'm at now is a lot better fit. I'm a lot more happier where I'm right now
mm,
than I was before. So don't try to choose it over the money. Choose it purely because you like the company and it's a good fit. Because if you choose money, over that, I guarantee it's not gonna work out in the long run.
right. Also, we just got a raid from Melody Dev. Thank you, Melody. Thank you for the raid. I'm here with
Hey,
Nafis, and we are doing a live mock behavioral interview. So make sure to give them a follow. Let me do the little command. They will be starting streaming too as well with this sort of content, amongst other things. So,
yeah. And then I'm also gonna add, like, far as like when you're interviewing also, so when you're done, obviously you want to have questions prepared to ask. And then after that, you always want to like ask them what are the next steps. Assume that you're going on to the next round.
Steps.
What's the next steps look like? That's the best way that you do it. Because if you assume like you're gonna get the job, they're gonna tell you. But if you don't ask them what the next steps are, they may not tell you. So you want to assume it. That's basically called like assuming a sale. It's kind of like a sales term, but assume like you're going to get going to the next round.
Okay. Yeah, I have like a list of questions that like I can ask. I haven't like committed any of them to memory though, so I should probably do.
Yeah, remember the ones we did last
Yes,
weekend?
yeah,
Yes.
yes. Have I
We
memorized
got
them? No.
no.
Yay.
All right. Next question. Give me an example of a time you had to take a creative and unusual approach to solving a coding problem. How did this idea come from your mind? Why did you think it was unusual?
Yeah, so I strongly believe people should kind of play themselves. And I mean that in a way that like you know what all your strengths are, you know what all your weaknesses are, like play to those. You can make yourself more productive when you do that. And so in answer to the question, I did that with myself. I have had pretty like major depression in the last 2 years. And I was trying to learn how to code and I just wasn't getting anything done. There was no real reason I was depressed. But I was
Catch
thinking,
me outside. How about
I
that?
was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, but how can I like play myself? Like what makes me want to do stuff or what makes me actually get stuff done? And the answer to that question was other people. um, and I decided to start streaming. So I started to stream on Twitch, me live coding, and the whole idea was just to basically just make it so I was accountable to other people and showing up and actually learning. The cool part of that was that it ended up that a bunch of people hopped in chat and they gave me lots of good feedback. I got help with my projects and ended up pair programming a lot of the time. So I don't think that's like a typical way one like approaches coding problems, but I did it that way and it ended up being a really, really good thing.
That's a good answer. Yeah, I like that answer. That was good. It sounded authentic. And we had a question in the chat. Does something about is the camera angle important on these interviews? Absolutely.
Is it
Make sure
really?
you I think it is. You want to set up good eye contact, look right into the camera, look at the person going literally they will be looking directly at you. So you better make sure you're looking at them because they're not going to pay attention.
Right.
Make sure you dress correctly, put on something nice, from the top, top up. You don't have to wear full dress, this a nice shirt, nice whatever, so you look professional. Even though a Zoom virtual call, still act like you're going into the office.
Right.
That's key.
Right. If you're wondering why I'm not looking at you, Nafis, it's because I have two cameras set up and
Yeah,
so
I know.
I like
Yeah,
switch back and forth.
not here. Obviously, I have two monitors too, so I'm looking over here at the questions. So, and my screens are here, so I have two monitors. So, but during your interviews, you don't need to have. If you want to have two screens up, so you can have your answers, your questions there, you can look at them. Fix this to where you can look at them both at the same time. That's how you do that.
Yeah, normally I've gotten to a place where like I've streamed enough that I I just look at the camera now and have like kind of mentally blocked out the fact that I'm looking at a camera.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, some people probably don't do that as often, so I don't know.
All right. So we'll go on to the next question. Tell me about your dream job. What do you really want to do with your career?
What I want to do with my career, what my dream job is, it's less about like a certain job and more about the dynamic at the job. So I mentioned to you that I stream and basically pair program during stream. I found out that I'm much more productive and I'm a much better teammate when I'm regularly interacting with my teammates. So I think it's really important for me that like my dream job, quote unquote, has a lot of pair programming, has a really good team dynamic, and good work-life balance. And it seems like y'all have that here, so that's a really great thing.
Gotcha. Cool. That's a good answer. Great answer. And then this is how everyone in the chat, like this might seem like it's difficult. You're gonna be nervous. The first couple times it's gonna be like the worst interviews of your life. But the more, and just be honest, that's how it was for me. But the more you do it, the easier you get. The more you do anything, it gets easier. It just comes with practice. It's routine. Visualize, assess, practice what you preach. You can't just go to an interview and expect to ace it if you didn't prepare for it. If you're taking a test, aren't you supposed to study? Unless you're a genius who just knows the answers. But most people have to study for a test to pass it.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I don't think, like, so many things I'm like, what if I had streamed this? And obviously I can't do that during job interviews. But I wish I had streamed my worst job interview so far, because it was so bad. And like, just like compare it to like
Technically, you might be able to. You just gotta tell them you mind if I record this call for quality insurance purposes. So technically, you could and go back and review it. And usually, people will say yes.
Can you imagine being like, hey, so I stream coding. Is it okay if I stream this, or like if I can put this on my channel later?
Yeah, or if you're going to either if you're on a Zoom or whatever, ask them to record it, or tell them you're going to record it so you can, for feedback and studying, or say something nice. Most people will say yes. A lot of times, once you get to like the different rounds of interview, it's going to be recorded anyway.
Interesting. I mean, I was joking. You think I actually could do that? Like, I could actually ask them that?
See what? You miss 9 innings of shots you don't take. I don't see people having a problem with that. If you give them a reason why you're doing it, so you can, for your feedback, and you can go back and review it and point out, where I can improve. And that's another way that you can show you're coachable too. You can spin that in a whole different angle right there. Yeah, I want to be able to go back and review the questions and see how I answer them and see how I can improve. So if any employer sees that you're able to kind of critique yourself, that looks like you're a real coachable person.
Huh. Interesting. What if they're like, nah, like we like these secret interview questions?
Then you can't record it. It all depended where state you're in. So the recording thing depends state by state, but most places you got to tell them. So always ask for permission, because you never know what information they're going to divulge. It might be private to you and that person.
Right.
So you got to always ask.
Right. Okay, I'll think about it. Maybe I'll ask them tomorrow.
Yeah, see what happens. Fidelity is a big company. I know my company, I think we're working on a deal with Fidelity, or as what we actually do. So I'm not sure what's going to close yet, but I know we're working on a deal with them for their developers. Ready for the next question?
I'm ready. I mean,
all right. So tell me about a time when you failed, and what did you learn from that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Time when I failed. So, when I was in college, my very last semester, I studied abroad in Spain. And I had done really well in college, and like it was part of my degree. I was studying Spanish as well, so it made sense to do it. I went there, and basically my mental health fell apart, and my social life kind of fell apart, and I kind of sunk into a hole of sorts of mental, depression sort of thing. And I started failing my classes there, and it just was not a good situation. I don't like being someone where like that is the case. And the thing that got me out of that was being humble enough to admit that I needed to go home, because clearly the situation wasn't working for me, and I didn't have the support I needed. So I had to come to terms with that and say, you know, it's okay. Like, I can ask for help. It's okay to know when a situation isn't serving you and who can help you in that time.
All right, great answer. Appreciate you telling me that. Next question.
Wait,
What
really
are some,
quick.
yeah,
Bourne says that I should have these be more job related. Do you think that was too personal? Do you think like that should be more job related?
not necessarily. So like, so you don't have very much experience, not a lot of experience, work experience. So how are you gotta relate it somehow, you
Right.
know? A lot of people that I was interviewing with that went to the same kind of boot camp that I went through, they didn't really have, some didn't have any work experience at all, or very little. So you got to find a way to tell a story that relates to that, whether it's job related or not. Sometimes you might not have the story, so you got to tell a story somehow, in some way, somehow. So you got to find another story to tell. So you want it to be work related, but most of the time you won't be, depending on how much experience you have. So you got to tell a story somehow from when you're a kid, teenager, sports. So like you said, there's an example you gave right there. It's a great example.
Just looking, I tried to say what I learned from that, and like that was that I could ask for help, that I knew if a situation wasn't serving me, you know, to get out of it. I feel like I answered that part, like I said
Yeah.
what I learned from it.
And then think about the star method. Like I said, I gave you guys the points how to do it. The thing is, if you forget something, don't beat yourself over it. Whatever, just go into the next question. Like it's only an interview.
Right.
What are you gonna the least they could say that we're not gonna hire you, go on to the next interview. Just kind of brush it off. Like yeah, if you mess up, you messed up. Um, oh, someone said star method. So probably here. So the star method is kind of method kind of telling a story when you're interview. It's a kind of technique. So it stands for situational, task, action, and results. So first with that, so it's situational. You want to set the scene, give the necessary details of your example, and then you go to the task. Describe what your responsibility was in that situation, and then you have your action. Explain exactly what steps you took to address it, and then results. Share what outcomes your action achieved from it. Do you guys get that? I don't know. If you need me to repeat it, let me know. I'm more than happy to.
Thank you, Brian. There you go.
We're good? I think we're good. I think so. All right. So next question.
Ikechi
What?
wants you to repeat it. Sorry.
Oh, repeat it? Yeah, sure. So star method. So the star method basically it's an interview technique that gives you basically a straightforward format to kind of, basically you're telling a story. So the first one is the star. That stands for situational. Set the scene. Give the necessary details of your example. So set the scene. Give the necessary details of your example. Task. Describe what your responsibility was in that situation. Action. Explain exactly what steps you took to address it. Results. Share what outcomes your actions achieved. So you guys, everyone got that now? Yeah. Let me know if you need to repeat it again. It's no problem.
Okay. I think they got. Well, no, Born,
Repeat?
I don't know if Born is pulling your leg. Born, are you
Yeah,
pulling Nephis' leg?
yeah.
Okay, I guess you have to repeat it one more time.
Okay, no problem. So the STAR method is basically a storytelling method, interview technique. So the S stands for situational, set the scene and give the necessary details of the example. So set the scene, get the necessary details of the example. Task, describe what responsibility was in the situation. action. Explain exactly what step you took to address it. Results, share what outcomes your action achieved. You good?
Yeah, I think
So.
I think we can move on.
Okay. I guess so. All right. What are some critical feedback you gotten recently?
Yeah. So I was working with a coworker, and we were working on a website and kind of both determining what sort of technologies we should be using and what styles we should be using, because we were designing it as well. And I was very much like, we have to use this and this and this. This is what's good all the time, etc. And she was like, you know what? I think you may be a little too black and white. Like, there are situations in which a certain technology is appropriate, or a certain design is appropriate where it may not be in another. It's not always just black and white. You need to have more mental flexibility in that area to consider all your options. And I was like, you know what? She's absolutely right. I am looking at it a very black and white way. I've traditionally been that sort of person, but I've been making a mental effort since then to be more open to, the gray options, quote unquote.
All right. Great answer. You want to do some more?
Yeah.
Questions?
I mean, we are just running on your time, so.
Okay. Yeah, I can push a little longer. It's no big deal. Next question here. Give me 1 second. All right. So describe a situation which you worked diligently on a project and did not produce the desired results. What did you get from why didn't you get the desired results? What did you learn from the experience?
Worked diligently on a project that didn't get the desired results. That's a good question. Let me think about that a little bit. I would say that when I was first starting to learn to code, I wanted to make some websites that would demonstrate my skill and, get better at coding. So I started to make a website, and it just was not working out for me. And I put in dozens of hours into it, and at the end of it I was like, you know what, like, this is just not working out for me. This is not giving me the results I want, because I had a picture in my head of how it should look like. So to resolve that, I went to some more experienced coders and I said, hey, you know what, my website is not looking like I want it to. Do you have any suggestions as to, what direction I could go, what I should be doing instead? And I had one of them sit down with me for an hour, and we got everything I had wanted to get done up to that point done in that amount of time. And what I feel like I really learned was that you shouldn't just keep banging your head against a wall when you have a problem or something that's not working out. You should realize when where your limits are, and then ask others for help, because two minds is always better than one, and more experience is always beneficial.
Okay, great. Good answer. Next question. Tell me about your experience in 100 Devs.
Yeah, so 100 Devs is a agency that also provides learning opportunities. You can work with different teams on different projects. I did that with one main project. It was an online talking dictionary. I talked about it earlier. And we were able to like successfully design the website, and we made it so it had like a searchable database where you could see the words that the clients gave to us and hear them as well. So that was the biggest project we've done so far. I've also had the opportunity to stream coding to the bootcamp and try and provide additional learning opportunities to my coworkers there.
Great answer. And the key with like all these questions is really just like, just be confident, have fun, don't stress about it, just do your best,
Right.
Give it 100% and don't try to overanalyze every single question while you're answering it. Answer the question. And then once you've done your interview, kind of take your feedback from that. Because sometimes they will give you feedback, interviewers. So take that feedback if they give it to you and work into your next interview. So sometimes when they said they're not going to choose you, if you ask for feedback, a lot of times they will give it to you. So take the feedback, incorporate it next time, and get better.
Born, that is a great answer. I can't just come up with that off the top of my head. I probably should study it and try and incorporate it to the next time I answer that question. But like, if you're wondering why it's not as polished as that, it's because I don't know. I'm just not as polished as that. So, but I will look more into it. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're doing good. Just be confident. Like I said, the more you do these interviews, the easier they get. My last round interviews, I booked about 50 interviews myself that I did. In the whole process. That's how I was able to kind of land a job within 3 weeks, easy, from interviewing to sign offer. And that's a company I already wanted from the beginning, and I knew in my mind I wanted to get it. Even though it was way less off the base, want to make it what I was making, but ultimately it was a better decision for me. So again, like I'm gonna keep repeating myself on that. Keep that in mind. We're making a decision about your jobs. Everyone wants the salary, the big money. Ultimately, find somewhere you can kind of learn and grow with. Really can grow with a company, not just because of the money. Because if they're throwing a whole bunch of money at you, like maybe the work-life balance, the culture might be great. There's a whole bunch of different angles behind that. If they're tossing a bunch of money at you if you didn't do research. So do your research with the company. Check, about people that used to work with a company. They'll leave reviews. What it's like to really work there. Find every little thing about the company before you really make your decision. So if you just choose it off the money without doing the research, what you sign the offer, what do you want to rescind it? Yeah, technically you could rescind the offer and not go. Coinbase, a lot of companies doing it now because they overhired. That's the issue. But yeah, you technically could do that, but is that the right thing to do? Do you really want to have that who you are, something that's going to follow through what you really want to do? So when you make this decision, once you guys go through this interview process, do your research first and pick the right company first, so you don't have to rescind your offer.
So I hear afterwards, like if you get an offer, you shouldn't say yes immediately. You should ask to talk to several members on the team. Do you think that is like good advice?
You can, or you have I have a council of people that I talk to. One person, 2 or 3 people, mainly one that I always bounce ideas off of her. Like that, she's been in tech sales for 20 something years, securities. So I bounce a lot of ideas off of her. I can call her anytime. I have her cell phone.
So sorry.
Develop. I would say develop your core group of people that kind of you can lean on and analyze the offer. Not saying that's a bad answer to say or bad question to ask. I just have my own group, my support system. So that's who I lean on when it comes to questions I have. I always have that one person I can go to.
And how fast, if you get an offer, how fast do you respond?
It all depends on it all depends if it feels right. Yeah, sometimes they say don't make an offer, don't say yes right away. You do have time to make people that are understandable. So you do have time to weigh other options if you're in the late stages of the other companies. and we'll see what their offer is going to be. But ultimately, it comes down to you. Like, what does your gut tell you? You know, it's when I signed this company with down, I signed the offer. I said yes right away, but I knew deep down in my heart it was the right decision to make. So why not drag it out? I really didn't want to do it with any other company, even though I had all this offer here, offer here. This offer was 15 grand more on my base salary. This offer was 10 grand more, 20, so on, whatever. But I chose the company that I knew in my heart and my gut was the right decision.
Did you see Yada Yada's comment?
What is 1 week period? Yeah, 1 week's okay. It's not bad. Yeah, it's fine. I need a week to think about it because if you say, because you could be with, through final stages with another company, so they'll understand that. So 1 week is fine to say that.
I was thinking about something you said earlier, like when you want to get a job, like you go and you get it. And I wonder, like I've had a lot of interviews and I had a lot of rejections at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much of it was me just not believing that I would get it, you know?
I think that's all. It's if you don't believe, you're never going to get the job. If you don't believe in yourself, you're never going to get it. So that's the secret sauce. That's the secret recipe, the whatever. That's something extra that you have to develop in yourself to where you have to go in confident and don't underestimate yourself and don't think you can do it. You have to believe in yourself from day one. If you don't do that, it's never going to work out. Maybe for you guys software engineer, you're not used to dealing with rejection. It's something that you'll get used to. You're going to be in your jobs, you're going to be writing code. There will be pressure put on you because you got deadlines to meet. But if you kind of set up ways to kind of techniques to kind of deal with that, you'll be fine. So it's every job has the pros and cons. You got to write thousands of codes at a certain per day than versus 10 years ago. The deadlines are tighter. You got to push things out quicker. So you're always going to be a tight deadline, but it all depends on your company. Let's say, what about start time? Do they usually want you to start immediately? It all depends on the company. Sometimes they'll tell you when they're looking to hire, and then a lot of times they'll ask you when you're ready to start. So it all depends. They'll tell you right away when the position's open, but also they'll ask you when can you start. So if you're currently working already, you said 2 weeks, give you 2 weeks notice to have a job, which is respectable, and then you can transition 2 weeks after that. If you're not currently working, you should say I can start right away. If you're not currently working, you should say right away I can start. As soon as the offer is signed. So if you're going to transition from one job to the next, make sure the offer is signed and it's countersigned. Once it's countersigned, then you can get your job 2 weeks notice.
Wait a second. That's what I was gonna say. I can't remember what it was. Oh, the job I'm interviewing with tomorrow, like they told me like straight out, I've asked them like why other candidates like haven't been chosen or haven't moved on with the process, and they were like, well, we have a really long onboarding process, like it's like 6 weeks long, and they're like, we've had some software engineers or some like more senior engineers who've gotten to that point, and they've been like, yo, I already got an offer that's paying me way more, and I can work there next week, and they'll take that instead. So like with this specific job, like they did tell me that already. Like it would be like 6 weeks onboarding.
So that's good. That's not sort of a bad thing because it seems like what they're saying, a lot of people go through because it's a long process. What's kind of sucks, but Fidel is a big company. It's a recognized company. They're they're well known. It's branded. It's trusted. That could be a company that they're willing to invest in people that are newer developers. The bigger company they have the finances to do that. So if you can get through the whole long 6-week process, chances are they probably would hire you because why would they waste their time with you all that long? Because most people don't finish.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if it's unpaid onboarding or not. I didn't ask that. I didn't know that I should ask that. I love being
So
paid.
was it like onboarding or interview process?
So they said like, I feel like I must not know exactly what the word onboarding means, but
So
just like,
onboarding, yeah, onboarding is more like once you get hired, that's like the onboarding process for the paperwork, ID, um, insurance information, background check, all that stuff. All that paperwork, the back end paperwork, entry level stuff. And you get your credentials, your logins. That's the onboarding process. That's when you're onboarding through. So,
yeah, so that is what they were describing then. So yes.
okay.
I don't know if do people get paid in onboarding
Yeah,
normally?
if you're onboarding like I think I am, that means that you sign their offer, and then you countersign the offer typically. Um, but it all depends on every company. Because ours was really quick for me to do when I was onboarding. It didn't take long. Like I did it in a day. But it seems like they're longer. So if it's to where you don't start yet, it may not. You probably have to do all the paperwork first before you start. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just their process, and you got to work within their process. If to the point to where you're onboarding, you're filling out insurance information and stuff like that, obviously you want to be with that company. So why 6 weeks should be nothing.
Right. This is good for me to know. I don't know if they
Yeah.
pay or not.
Yeah, so like it all depends, and health insurance. Sometimes it takes a while to kick in. Mine kicks in right away. And when you're looking at your comp plans and insurance, pick the best plan. You know, because every plan's different. You know, I only pay for 30. My 30. I only have a $30 copay really. Um, that's the most. Any doctor, dentist, vision. A lot of my pre-maintenance stuff is taken care of. That's covered. A lot of like for his teeth cleaning and maintenance for dentists, all that's I don't pay out of pocket. It's 100% covered, and I have a healthcare savings card with like money on it too that I can use for copay and stuff like that. So it all depends on what insurance company that you pick.
I don't know how
So,
people like learn how to be an adult and like know what all of those words mean.
yeah, and insurance is keto. Like if I when I need to go to see a psychiatrist dealing with whatever depression, mania, whatever, $30. That's all I pay.
That does sound like not a lot, I think, probably.
It's not a lot compared to what they cost. I only have to pay $30 for see a psychologist, you know. But that's the insurance plan that and health insurance that I have. Not, that's when you got to look. They're going to give you a bunch of plans when you start, so you got to pick and choose. So have someone walk you through it because it can be very, very, very confusing.
Okay, good to know. Okay, let's do like one more question, and I think we'll be at an hour. I don't want to
Yeah, I
keep.
can I can go for another 10, 20 minutes or so. It's fine.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, what else? And then, yeah, also, yeah, 401k too. So learn about 401k. You're going to learn about either 401k or Roth IRA, the percentage that you put in your check every single month, depending on the company. A lot of times companies match what you put in. So that's another way. And then you got to pick whatever, how you want a portfolio going to be. So they'll tell you kind of probably a lot of words. You have no idea what I'm saying right now, but you will.
Okay.
All right, we'll go to the next question here. Describe a situation. No, we did that one already. Let's see. Describe a situation in which you felt you had not communicated well enough. What did you do? How did you handle it?
Yeah. Let me think about that a little bit. Situation in which I felt I had not communicated enough. I guess I would say when I was doing some freelancing, when I was working at 100 Devs, I got a client where we sat down and they described to me what they wanted out of the project. And like we sat down, we established everything, got off the call, and then I didn't like jump back on that right away, and they messaged me and they were like, hey, did we talk about, like, are we moving forward with that? And I realized, oh wow, okay, yes, I need to communicate better. This is a very poor thing to do on my part. And so I responded immediately and I apologized. And then to make up for the initial lack of communication, every time there was an update on the project, I would send a text with all the things that like I had done so they could see it and know that the project was progressing. And that ended up making the relationship between like the client and I a lot more beneficial, and at the end of the project they were really happy with it because they had been watching how it had progressed all along.
Okay. Cool. Next question. Tell me about a time when you worked with someone who was not completing his or her share of the work. How did you handle the situation? Did you discuss your concern with your coworker, with your manager? If yes, how did the coworker respond to your concern? What was your manager's response?
So we just talked about how communication is really crucial, especially in a workplace environment. And when I was working at one of my old positions, I had a coworker who would do certain paperwork that I needed to have done in order for me to do my work as well. Well, she has a busy family life, and as a consequence, a lot of times wouldn't get on that or wouldn't get it done, and would prevent me from also doing my work. So I called her and I said, hey, like what's going on? I learned about her situation and I said, well, I do need, you to get this amount of work done so I can do my work. Is there anything I can do to help you on that? So we discussed a little more and we sat down and decided that she would try and get, the most crucial documents done by this time at the end of the week. And then if she didn't have those done, I could send her a message and be like, hey, like, are you able to do this? Are you able to work on it? And kind of give her like a little push and like remind her. And we used that for like another year, that sort of system. And she was able to balance her work life with her family, and I was able to get my work done.
Cool. All right, great. So recap so far, we hit the next question. I think you're doing a really good job as far as kind of telling the stories and everything. Just always remember to tie everything back in, which
Right.
you learn it too, but I think that's something that you'll get in time. Practice a little bit more. So when you'll take a pause, but it won't be a long pause, which is not bad. Once you get through that, everything, it's a good story. You just got to tell them more to be more smoothly. Overall, it's you're overall doing good. You got to just be more confident. It's the key. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right.
When you want to kind of like control the interview. Like when I was interviewing, like even though they're interviewing me, I'm the one in control. We're gonna interview you when I say it, and when every stage that I go through is my mindset. And you're gonna send me an offer. I'm thinking that I'm picturing, visualizing success every single time. Because if you can, once you're able to do that, you're never going to be able to get. You're not going to be able to get stopped. You're going to be unstoppable. You can get any job that you want, and they'll pay you whatever you want because you'll visualize their success.
I think I've hit that point a little bit where I'm like, I believe the job is coming. Like I can feel it. It's been a long time, but like I know it. Anyway, so hopefully that's beneficial.
Yeah. Questions? Anyone have questions? Can we ask the questions as an example? Sure, if you want.
I guess
I don't know.
I don't have them open, but let me open them really quick.
I don't know what they're
I
asking.
think they want to see like how you would respond to one. Like we're saying how I do. Like
Yeah,
what would you say instead? I guess is that
sure.
what we're asking? They're
Yeah,
saying. Okay, I think yes. Let me copy the questions. Should we do some of the same ones or different ones?
yeah, because a lot of times when you're interviewing, you're going to you're going to get the same questions over and over. Every single interview, they're basically going to ask you the same thing. You're always going to get something about yourself. It's a common question. That's a very common question. You're going to
So,
get that if you're on every single interview. You're going to get that.
so
It seems like. Go ahead. Sorry.
should I ask you that one or should we do a different one?
Uh, whatever
Or,
you want.
or
You can do that
Firewall
one.
wants to ask you a question for you to answer. It better be a serious one though.
Yeah.
If not, I can just ask you
Yeah.
to tell me about yourself. Okay. I guess I'm gonna ask you. Tell me about
Okay.
yourself.
Cool. Great. That's a great question. So basically, I'm going to answer like a mini for tech sales because that's what I know. Because great. You know, when I was 06, 07, I kind of got in construction. And that's when the recession hit. So I was kind of like out of a job. So I was like, I was applying and applying. I applied to this sales company that went B2B door to door. And I had no experience at all, but I needed to kind of get a job. And then kind of what I learned from that company is, you know, I learned how to take rejection, overcome rejection, um, manage a team, develop people, and succeed at all costs in all great aspects that come that are good examples for when you come into tech or sales in general. And that's why I want to work for your company because um, you know, Hacky DU is a great company. It's a startup, but it's kind of reminds me of a company that I first started about 15 years ago. We're starting from the ground up, and I think I can bring a lot of value for it as teaching, training, and my ability to take rejection here at Hacky DU.
Dan wants me to ask, how does your experience translate to strengths and weaknesses with programming technical projects? Well, I mean, and adjust that to like sales, I guess.
So how do you experience strengths and weaknesses? So technical, let me see here, translation to weaknesses with programming technical. So like the strength and weaknesses, the basic way the best I handle that is, yeah, you want to focus on your strengths. But the questions I always answer that because I got something similar like that before. Like, yeah, I don't really see weaknesses. I don't only see areas I can improve. You know, I'm really good at this, but I know I can be better at that. So the answer to your question is I don't really think I have a weakness. I just have areas I can improve better on.
I like that. Because then you're saying no weaknesses. Awesome.
Yeah, so you're kind of flipping the script on them.
Apparently, like I'm not exactly sure Blackboard and Firewall how we would address this, but like what is the question I should have asked you about the role and what's the answer? Because you know, Nafis is not actually hiring me, but like what do you think about that question? I guess we could do that.
What question was that one?
What is the question I should have asked you about the role and what is the answer?
What is the question I should ask you about the role? What is the answer?
Yeah.
Oh, the question you should ask like the person. Okay.
Yeah.
Good question that you can always ask. Would there be did we find because I have the one we talked about before. I think I saved it. Let's see. Second. I found it. So good question to kind of because at the end they're going to ask you what questions did you have for me?
Right.
So you want the first question you can ask them is what does the team look like? So basically, off their answer, that's how you're going to really know if this company's a good fit. What does the team look like? You want to know how their team interacts. What that's really, also you're going to figure out what the culture is going to be like is what does the developer team look like? And then what are your expectations for this person in your role? This is a good question to ask because you want to know what your expectations are from day one. Some companies might have a ramp time to where your ramp time could be 6 weeks or your ramp time could be 9 months. Ramp time is kind of time where you kind of learn and kind of grow with the company to where it's not so much about deadlines or quotas or whatever. It's kind of time for you to kind of get your feet wet. So that's another good question to ask. Okay. And Dan, yeah, that's a good question to ask too. That would be a good one too.
Well, so Born, this isn't a recruiter interview. This is like a mock behavioral interview. So if
Yeah,
this were
so
like
it'd be a second round.
yeah, this
basically.
would be not like this wouldn't be with the recruiter.
And then another question you can ask is, what is your tech stack and what does your development tools look like? This is a good question to ask because you want to know what tools you're going to be using, what development tools you're going to be using. You want to know, because what if you're not familiar with it? You might want to get familiar with it really quickly or get the base knowledge of it. So that's a good question to ask. And then a lot of questions for the recruiters. Yeah, they won't know a lot of the questions. So like I will save like the really good ones for the once you meet with the manager. The second one is usually with the manager or the team lead or whatever. So save a lot of the questions for that because the recruiter probably won't know that much as far as the question that really what you really want to know.
How many questions? So like when they ask at the end, do you have any questions for me? How many questions do you ask?
I like to do 5. I did 5 every single time. Yeah. So like another one you can ask is like how projects prioritized and planned. The reason why you want to know this one is because you want to know, that's essential. You want to know like how a project plans. So you know what to work on, what you need to prioritize. So when you hit your deadline, because eventually once you get into your role, you're going to have deadlines too. You're going to write this many lines of code. This project has to be pushed out. During the software development cycle, you got to play your role. Things have to get pushed out quickly, but you got to do things securely too. So it's kind of a tricky thing. But you're going to be, it might seem like a lot of pressure, but it's not. It's all about how you manage your time. And then another question is, what are the biggest challenges facing your team? This is a great one to know because you want to know that, not just the good things that the team do, but what things, what challenges is the team facing right now? Because I kind of look at it a different way because you might know a way to overcome that challenge, which in turn could elevate your status on the team. If you can, help them face some of the challenges they're facing, if you can solve that problem, that can definitely help them for sure.
That's big brain.
Another question here. Just say.
How are things prioritized?
Is that a question or are you asking that question?
I think it would be the interviewee asking, right, Dan?
Yeah, it looks like that's what I would think it is. Yeah, that would be a good question to ask, similar kind of what I said before, but yeah, that would be a question to ask is that's the whole thing you want to know. Like when you're interviewing a job, you want to know obviously how the team is, the work culture, whatever your definition of work-life balance is, because everyone's different. My work-life balance is totally different than anyone else. It's very unique, very unique. It's not like anyone else's. Versus, everyone has their own definition of work-life balance. So you got to find out what your definition is and then pick a company that actually fits that.
One of some good ones. Do you have any questions or concerns about my qualifications?
Yeah, that could be a good one. That's for me, I like to sleep with confidence. I would even bring it up.
Wait, why wouldn't you bring it up?
I just avoid it, like why bring it up? Like my thing is why bring up like any kind of, that could put any doubt or weakness in their mind. But that's just how I think of it because I like to go into things overly confident.
Mm.
But
See, one thing I was thinking about that question is, like, what if they're like, well, we don't think you, like, we're worried that you don't have enough experience. If they said something
yeah,
like that, I don't know how I would address it, you know?
yeah. So like, let you know how to answer that question. That's fine. Like I could just say something like that and totally turn the question around. But I know most people can't, So kind of avoid questions that could get you in a trap in answering. Yeah, because they might throw
Mm.
something back like, oh shit, that's not gonna work. So ask questions that you want to know to work culture, you know, pay stuff. Yeah, they're gonna let them bring up pay. Don't ask about pay directly yourself. Let that come out towards the end. Eventually they'll tell you that. If they ask you, first thing you say is, I'm just looking for a company I want to learn and grow with. Um, and then if they really push you, okay, yeah, I'm just looking for a company that I learn and grow with. But that being said, I'm looking for something that competitive in market and industry standards. And if they really push you, give me a range, do your research, pick the range of whatever price, whatever your experience range, and say I'm looking at a range from this to this.
Yeah, I've also heard like, and I've also said like, well, I mean, you're hiring for this position. What's your budget? You know better than I do.
Yeah,
And then they're like, oh, and then they say what it is.
yeah. And then another good question, yeah, most tech companies, yeah, they're going to provide you with your own laptop and stuff. That's pretty standard nowadays. So it's laptop, monitor, whatever. Like I said, I got two monitors, all stuff, extensions, chargers, all that stuff paid for by the company. They'll send it to you right away. And a lot of times, like you can expense a lot of things too. After you're with the company, you might have like X amount of money you can use on office expenses, extra stuff that you buy, you put into expense report, you either like certify or expensify, a lot of those different apps. But they'll reimburse you within a couple business days or right away.
Okay. Y'all have any questions for Nafis? Possible to focus on just writing beautiful code or social interaction necessary? Wait, is that a question I should be asking or is this a question you're asking? How was your day going? That's what I will ask. Apex is asking, is it possible to just focus on writing beautiful code or is social interaction necessary? I don't know how to answer that question.
But they mean like when they're in the role, like far as
Maybe. I never write beautiful code. I just try and write functional code.
yeah, I know people that are developers, they got deadlines and stuff, and the goal is for them they have to meet the deadline, they want to get it out, as fast as possible.
What was your favorite selling experience? Blackboard wants to know.
Favorite? When I was B2B, I was selling makeup in South Philly. Right around was like the South Philly mob area, Jolie Marlino area. I got in good with a lot of the mobsters and used to sell those guys makeup down there all the time. Very few guys they allow to go in there and just hang out, shoot the shit, take shots, play cards, my lunch break, and go back to work. So, but the thing you kind of need, because sometimes I'm working late and I got maybe $2,000-3,000 in my pocket, that's kind of protection that, I wasn't going to be touched.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. So, once you get to,
With lobsters, wow.
yeah, the guys are cool. They're cool guys. They're fun.
Okay, should we do any more questions, or do you need to go?
Uh,
What do you want to do?
we can do one more here, and then we can recap. I don't know. Does anyone get any kind of value out of what we're doing here tonight? Or
I think I saw some earlier where they were like, "Oh, thank you,"
yeah,
but I mean, chat
yeah,
right now can answer if they want, of course.
yeah, it's
Definitely,
yeah.
Bob says. Will I keep
Uh,
streaming after this? A little bit, I think.
yeah. One more. So, what is some critical feedback you've gotten recently?
I feel like we did that with the black and white, didn't we?
Did we? I don't know. Uh,
That was. I feel like that's what I would answer to that, and we already said that, but I'm not sure.
okay. Or why are you interested in this opportunity? I don't think we asked that. I don't think I asked that one.
Why? Boy, I'm gonna answer this one. Why am I interested in this? Okay, I have to start speaking the British accent while I'm telling you this. Sorry.
Go for it. Go
Why
for it.
I'm interested in this opportunity is because I really like what your team has been described as to me. Has a really good focus on team and pair programming, and that is one of the most important parts of a job to me is really jiving with my team and being able to ask questions and pair program and provide input and value as a more junior developer.
Cool. Good. Good answer. I like that. So, just switch to the British accent mid interview. Hey, that could have worked. That's a good icebreaker. Could see if they catch it.
Why are you
That's kind of
talking
funny.
like this? I just wanted to. It was a dare.
Yeah, so that's a good. But overall, your answers were good. It's just work on really honing and telling your story, because no one knows your story better than you. There were certain questions about tell me about yourself, and then when you got all the other questions that I asked, remember the method, STAR method. Tell a story, and then kind of tied everything all back in. Ask about the action, what happened, what you got from it, and what you learned. You know.
Right. And I feel like basically none of the questions I've answered tonight have addressed and that's why I'd be fantastic at your company. So I really need to work on that.
Yeah, that's something that you're gonna get in time. So just take your time and learn and relax, and you'll get it. So it's practice, practice, practice. So you have your interview tomorrow. Just take a deep breath and have fun. Things will work out. You have to believe they will.
Right.
When you
Yes.
don't believe in yourself is when things don't work out.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I will
So
get it. It will happen. It will work out.
you gotta
Talked
have
about it
fun.
on Wednesday, maybe.
You
Not sure.
gotta have fun. So that's part of the process, the interview process. It can suck. It can be grueling. It can be nerve wracking, but only if you let it. If you can be able to get to the point to where you're able to control the process, to where you feel like you're in control, that's when you mastered it.
How much should one know or have accomplished in the first 3 months on the job? Is that what are you okay? Are you asking that as like an interviewee, or are you asking that to us, Letty? I've not done this accent for a while.
But yeah, if you're going to a new role with any job, going willing to learn, definitely find the best person on the team and don't leave that person's side is my opinion. Learn from the best.
It was to us. I don't know how much one should know. I haven't had a big girl job like that. But
Yeah.
if he's just answered that, people in chat can as well.
Yeah, it's just go and learn. Like I said, depending on the company, like I said, if it's a startup, the onboarding process and training process, and then that could be totally different than a bigger company. You could have a ramp time of like 4 weeks to kind of ramp up and get learn the things, or you can have 90 days, or there could be no ramp time at all, and it's like go ahead and start writing code. And it all depends on the company.
Yeah, I have an interview tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else have any other questions?
Yeah, any other questions?
Whatever life interviewing process, it really doesn't matter.
Drop you in chat again. Firewall really wants to know how your day is going.
I think it's great. I was at the beach there. I wake me personally, my routine is every morning, even the weekends. I wake up 4 a.m., get ready, eat breakfast. I go work out, and I go on the beach every single day. Because if I don't go, I don't feel great. I don't feel good. I feel depressed. So I have to go to the beach every single morning. I have to, because it's kind of my time to kind of relax and get out and kind of get ready for my day. And then once I get back, I can go attack what I have to do for work.
Thank you for the gift of subs, Blackboard. Really nice of you. I wish I could go to the beach every morning.
Yeah, luckily I'm only 20-something minutes away, walking wise, to the beach, so it's easy for me. Not for everyone, but I'm fortunate enough to be that close to the beach that I go. But I feel good every time I go. So you got to do what makes you happy. If you have, like for me, I work a lot. I like working a lot. That's how I like. That's just me. But going to the beach every morning is how I balance it.
You're gaming yourself. Remember when I said that earlier? Like what you need to do to make you function, and you're doing it. So.
Yeah, you gotta, like I said, I just don't say. I kind of live what I preach about, because that's how you got to do it. You can't just tell someone to do it if you're not willing to do what you're telling someone else to do. Why are you giving advice? Right. Doesn't make any sense at all.
Right. Well, I can't lose the accent because it got redeemed, and I've got 25 more minutes.
Right. Yeah, do you provide a personal development plan to work towards being able to gauge your mind? Is that a question or not?
I think that's a question the interviewee would ask.
Okay.
Drop your social medias in chat again.
Yeah, follow me. Like usually the easiest way to get a hold of me is LinkedIn. So I'm always on LinkedIn. So feel free to connect or shoot me a message about anything. Happy to answer. If you just want to talk, if you're having a bad day, reach out.
You've been really helpful, and thank you for doing this today and taking some time out of your super busy day.
Sure, anytime. If you guys want us to do something else again, we can. If you guys want, if you get any kind of value out of it, I can come up with another topic or something.
Yeah, and you're planning on starting streaming, right?
Yes, I got to work that in my schedule, but I'm gonna do it. That's part of the plan. So
we could raid you.
Yeah, it might be just start on the weekends thing, because that's when I really have the free time, and then I can really start working into during the week. But pretty soon it's going to be probably the weekends for now, because that's when I'm able to do it.
I might not be streaming then, but I will shout you out.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate you taking your time. Honestly.
You're welcome. This was fun.
Yeah. And we'll see if we do it again. Yeah, we'll see how the interview tomorrow goes. I'll let all of you know, everyone.
Let me know how it goes, and relax and just don't stress and have some fun.
Yeah, super confident.
Yes, you can do it. You can do it.
Thank you. All right.
Cool.
Well, have a good rest of your day.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon.
See you later, guys.
All right. So I'm going to be streaming just a bit longer because I've got like 22 minutes left of talking like this. So Bourne wanted me to answer how camping was this weekend. So we left kind of late. We went in 2 different cars. There was my friends and her people and my sisters and I, and they went at like 2 p.m. But my family's super slow and always chronically late, like, and so we left at like 5. The mountains have no cell reception, and yeah, so I was like, okay, we camped here before, just I'll meet you at the campsite, it'll be great. So I have great spatial memory, so we go back to the campsite and I go exactly where the campsite is and they are not there. And I was like, well, fuck. And so we start driving around the whole property, looking everywhere for her car, for her, for the people she's with. Couldn't find them anywhere. And I was like, what the fuck? We drove through it for like 45 minutes trying to find her. And we're just like, well, maybe she's at the official campground. So we went to the official campground, drove through all that. We went to a parking lot by the campground to see if she was there. She wasn't anywhere. And we're like, what the fuck? We just drove. It was like an hour and a half to get here. And here we are, and we cannot find her. And the thing was, we had brought everything that we would have needed if to just like stay there by ourselves, except for food. Yeah. And so we were like, damn it, we can't exactly stay here without food. We haven't eaten. And so we drove back home, and that's how camping was. Thank you, Letty. Thank you, Mendion. It's bloody wild. Where'd she go? She was at the first campsite. When she got service the next day, we were like, what the fuck, where were you? She's like, I was literally there. We put a sign with your last name on it. It was right in the entrance. And we're like, we literally looked for you, could not find you to save our lives. I still don't know where she was. Like, we really did look. We drove multiple times to the whole place. So why is it like you have to drive an hour to get anywhere there? Because it's the West, and well, I mean, you're in Texas. Why would I have to answer that question? It's probably the same there. Everything is far away, except it's not really. I can drive. I'm gonna be driving 5 hours tomorrow to my grandma's house. That's not that far. God blimey, that must have been a right kerfuffle. Alright, I know it's not a very good accent. Maybe I'll change the redemption to make Rufio speak in a shit, how do British people say it? Shitty. Anyway, British accent. That would have my niggas and twists and that. Shite. Oh, they don't say shitty, they just say shite. Alright. You're right. Can I say Worcestershire? Okay, I can't say the second one. Wait. Leicestershire? Is that how you say it? You're an hour away from other major cities. Wait, really? Just an hour? And bollocks. Shire. Yeah, the biggest major city close to me, I don't know if Boise counts. That's 4 hours away, and then Las Vegas is 7. Leicestershire and Worcestershire. Leicestershire and Worcestershire. Yeah, I did not get those right. Northampton. Northampton. Is that really is it? Northampton. I never claimed to be good at this. I do enjoy it though. I do enjoy talking like this. I used to think I was really good at it until I did it on stream, and then now I know. Now I know. Anyway, how did y'all like the interview? How did you like Nafis? Or not Nafis? Nafis. He had a mutual friend who I called, and I was like, yeah, Nafis told me to talk to you. And he's like, who? And he's like, oh, you mean Nafis? And then he forgot Nafis's name despite Nafis's name despite knowing him for years, and was like, Fabio. And called him Fabio. And I was like, wait, You can't even get his name right, and now you're calling him Fabio? Anyway, so, Nafis. There we go. You're a friend from Northampton and shit like that. Am I in Salt Lake City proper? Yes. Have I written down interview answers? Yes. No. Basically all the ones I said today have all been written down. I just haven't studied them in a while. I'm glad, Grat. I'm glad it was useful to you. Oh no, you know what? I have a cat in my house today. It was abandoned and didn't eat for like 3 weeks. And we just barely saved it today, and now I'm waiting for animal control to pick it up to take it to the shelter. I just gotta go check if it's alright. I will be right back. Alright, the cat's fine. The cat is hiding behind my trash can and it's just like mellowing, so. Because I need to spend some time tonight studying more, yes, but also I don't feel like I did that bad. Thank you, Blackboard. If you're melting, England is currently fucking dying. 39 degrees with no AC. Wait, why don't you have AC? Thank you, Firewall. My neck. Ooh, you know what I started playing this weekend? Yeah, I've never heard anyone say it, so I probably am saying this wrong, but like Rise, Son of Rome. Oh my god, I really like that game. 18 hazard is like not a thing in the UK. Really? Ooh, that sucks. England is so far north, they don't normally need it. Oh, I knew that as a obviously British person. Thank you, Cypher, appreciate it. To a bathtub. That sucks. It is quite a good temperature in my house. My feet are freezing, so that's cool. Thank you, Grat. It's definitely true. I have an interview tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. And we just spent a little bit practicing for it. I was feeling really good about it, and then they switched the teams on me that I was interviewing for, and now I don't feel so good about it for some reason. But it's okay, I need to feel good about it because I'm gonna fucking get a job, maybe. Thank you, Kevin. What's the job title? Oh god, I should probably know that. Wait a second, let me look it up. Behavioral or technical? Yes. It definitely is. Okay, wait. What is it called? What is it called? What is it called? So they said. Say the role description. I don't know if they ever gave it to me. I can't remember. So that's something I should probably find out. I have everything saved in a document though, like a bunch of interview questions I asked the recruiter, and what I do know of the description, which was working to build out end-to-end agile teams, looking for full stack engineers with a focus on the front-end TypeScript, but like they were like hella TypeScript. And then it was going to be something about email, but the new team is actually is actually, what they said is, okay, sorry, it's a bit to go through. I don't think this is the right email because this is the old team. Bruh. Why are there so many emails? There's so many emails. Anyway, something completely different. It says, a small development for Fidelity. The original team in Salt Lake City is putting a pause on their hiring. However, there are still 2 openings for Fidelity in Salt Lake City. The requirements are very similar, revolving around JavaScript and TypeScript. It would be with a different team under another manager. The manager saw my resume and assessment and wants to interview me. This would be for their onboarding team. And then it says in italics, the role is a contribution model where you would potentially contribute code to any of the 13 components that make up the platform. Another aspect of the role is working with business units on their migration requirements and building any required tools to assist with onboarding, like data migration tools, seeding tools, access tools, etc. Or contribute code to existing components, where you will build connectors between the existing workflow platform and the new platform. Right. I missed Blackboard. You applied for 350 jobs. Wow. Have my resume up so it's easy to talk about. That's a good idea. Is it a remote interview? It's remote, yeah. TypeScript is awesome. What's TypeScript? Did you not watch our co-stream with Peter? I don't know what any of it means, all the italics that I read. I don't know what that means. What time's my interview? 3 p.m. So, yeah. Also, I can't say words. I will not be streaming on Thursday. I will be in Idaho for a family reunion. And then yes, exactly, Blackboard. And then on next Monday, we will be doing another co-stream with a recruiter in tech. So that will be exciting. Am I currently employed? Kind of, yes. Like, I do technically have like a job. They just haven't given me any work for like 2 months, and it is only 10 hours a week. So 3 p.m. British time if you still have a British accent. Is it a fun family reunion, or blink twice if you're being held against your will family reunion? Kind of both. Like, there's some people that are like there, and then so I come from a Mormon background, and Mormons are known for having very large families. So I have 6 siblings, not including me. There's 7 of us. My mother has 7 siblings, 8 including her, and then all of those siblings had like a fuck ton of children. All right, my eldest aunt, who was the one who died this year, if you remember when that happened, she had 9 children, and then each of those children had children. So there's the rest of us, the main clan, right? And then there's my aunt's family's clan, and they've almost completely like overwhelmed us, like, numbers wise. There's so many of them, and it's not even like a my grandma's family's reunion. It's like my aunt's family's reunions, and then also where they on the side, you know. I'm sorry to hear that, Born. Sounds like I'm going to basically have 100 kids. No. I may or may not have that one person who always gets super wasted. Nobody gets wasted here. Mormons don't drink. No, no one's Reed. This is my mother's family. Have I met all of them? Yes. And I know most of their names. So it's not the last name Reed, it's the last name Jensen, actually. But most of them at this point are Blackburns. So. Anyway, I'm not looking forward to the Blackburn clan. Yes, Jensen, born. You've been to the LDS church many times. For what? Are you Mormon? I'm Australian English state. I'm supposed to be British. I know it's not very good, but that's okay. I like doing it. Also, hi, how are you? You lived with an LDS family for a while. Oh, why? British. You're atheist, but you like to learn about other people. All right. Why not both? Because I was supposed to be British. I don't know how to do an Australian accent, apparently. Consciously. Subconsciously, I'm quite good at it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Blackboard. Like, it's really nice they took you in, but I'm sorry to hear that. Southern British? Yeah, there are definitely a lot of accents, and I know none of them except for this one. Australia. Right, mate. I'm trying to think of how else they say things. Wait,
Frank.
are you so right? It's a much better accent than mine. I don't love my accent. Do my friends watch my stream? No. Cornwallian? Well, as long as it's British of sorts, I suppose. You do a good British accent, I bet. Excuse me, Prude, you're so right. It's okay, you're right, you're so right. Of course I have my friends watching you. There are 45 of them here. Remember when your mom said we weren't your real friends? Yes, I do. Try doing a British accent in front of some little kids in the UK once they ripped it apart as only little kids can. That's so funny. More interview questions. What's my favorite candy? Okay, I call them nerd bowls, but they're called nerd clusters. Have you had them? They're like the nerd ropes, but they're really little, and they're God's gift to the world. I don't believe in God, but if God existed, it would be God's gift to the world. For how long have I been a streamer? Since October 2021. Aren't they so good? Oh my god, they have no right being that good. They're brutal. How's it like in the UK? It is very hot, I'm told. I mean, I know. So hot. Much hot. Pixie sticks? No, no, no. Oh my god, do we differ on an opinion? Mine, I guess we're not the same person. You haven't heard of this? Okay, alright. You know what? I literally have some because they're very good. They sell out in stores. These ones. This is not product advertising, but you know, if they gave me many free bags, I would totally advertise for them. That's what they look like. They have like nerd rope in the middle and they're nerds on the outside. So I'm gonna eat it now. You're told something's fishy. Mind blown. Is my interview by stream or by phone? It's on Zoom or something, or Meet or something. You know they have those in your area? Wait, where are you? They should be everywhere. Maybe not. I mean, I'm only in Utah, so. Thank you, mine. I'm not sure what I'm doing with it. I'm too poor to cut it, really, so it's just kind of doing a mullet thing here, and that's fine, I guess. You've never seen those? They're new. Apparently they were a big TikTok thing. Anyway, they're so good. Trying to grow your hair out? Nice. What do I like to do besides programming? I like to draw. Like things like this. I like to play video games. I was saying earlier that I've just started playing Rise Son of Rome, and I really like it. Mostly RPGs. You're in DC. They don't have them in DC, really. You like Sour Patch Kids, really? Hypnotizing drawing. I like to read. I like to stream, but you said, yeah, I like to stream. Yeah. I don't know what else I like to do, but. So yeah, alright, we've got a minute left of me talking like this, so that's cool. The way that we did this, she's really good at drawing. Oh, we all have our talents. You're just really good at programming. I think I'd prefer that. You too, Firewall. Oh, I'm done. Okay. Oh, I got a weird headache. Hello? Ow. Let's see. Did I get my sister who was supposed to be messaging me? No. I did not. You do some leak code later? Nice. I was supposed to do that today, remember? But I'm gonna do that actually in like 2 weeks. You like composing music? That's cool. I don't know what noodling means. What does that mean? Yeah. To have an okay. Alright, thank you. Thank you, CD. But it will noodle, you know. My house is so cold, my nose is running. You too, Kit Kat. I hope you're having a great Monday. Mine's been pretty good. I have a cat hiding behind a trash can. Streaming. Wait, who is Sam? Who's Sam? Is my childhood home big? Okay, I can't say what. Is my childhood home big? Yes. There were so many kids, so yes, absolutely. When you strum and randomly jam on the guitar. Thank you so much for actually answering my question, because I just thought we were saying a word and it didn't make any sense to me, so thank you. You're from Bosnia and it's pretty late. Sleep well. Thanks for hanging out. That's what to say. That's my contribution to this conversation. I've never been to Bosnia or anywhere in Europe except for Spain. Oh yes, I forgot what I was saying, so that's cool. Alright, party at Rufio's childhood home. No, my parents would not be down with that. There are a lot of people streaming right now in this category. You're going to Ukraine soon? Really? All right. Who should we raid? My parents are never home. My parents are always home. Kit Kat, we did a online, wow, a mock behavioral interview for tech, or just in general. But yeah, and then Nafis, the other person who was doing it with me, had to go. So we've just been shooting the shit. Just gotta extend stream for a few hours. That's awesome, Blackboard. Raid someone small? I always like to raid someone small, unless we sometimes raid people we know though. But I like to raid someone small generally because it is so hard to get viewers as a baby streamer. Like, it is so, people like see that you have one viewer and they're like, oh, I didn't want to go there, and then they don't. And like, it's really nice when people do give you a chance, but so many people never give you a chance. So I do like to do that. You're about to get ads on this? Didn't we get rid of ads? Fake news. This person's doing blind 75. We could do that. Maybe. I don't know. And they are the Cookie Monster. Oh, I kind of like that. That's great, Born. It was giving me a countdown. What the hell? Yeah, I like to give little streamers. Because, no, that was literally me a couple months ago. It took me 5 months to get like seven viewers regularly, so. You stream a lot, it's so discouraging to talk to yourself with 0 views for hours. General Kenobi. Hello there. All right. I need a Patreon. I don't know what that means. Someone, what? Someone says that they're sipping on some spaghetti. What does that mean? What does that mean? So people can donate to my stream's gear and stuff. Oh, so is it just like, how is that different from like PayPal or whatever? Whoa. Oh, thank you for the follow, MGX. And everyone else who followed, and I didn't say anything because Live Healthy was talking. Thank you. I appreciate it. PayPal sounds greedy. Wow, there are so many people streaming right now. So many. I don't know who to pick. Who should we pick? Someone who has not so many viewers. Oh, look, you have your own little thing. Hey, MGX. I like it. I was like, what does it say? We're gonna go so long without streaming. It's gonna be an entire week. And then I probably can't even go that long next Monday because my nephews will be in town and they want interaction for some reason. Watching any new mysteries on Netflix? Girl in the Pictures. I haven't been watching anything on Netflix. I started watching the Umbrella one and I got bored, so I stopped at the end. The James A. Caster special. Okay, I gotta write these down because I will forget. What is DB Cooper? Who needs interaction? We have chat. Patreon sets up a monthly donation. PayPal's a one-time thing. Oh. I don't know. I feel weird when people are like being like, you could give me money. Because, like, that is so nice. And I do appreciate it. but also like I don't know, you know, like once you involve money in a friendship, you know what I'm saying? Oh wow, CD. He's British like me. Yes. I'm so British. I'm so British I can't. I'm so British I can't even. Okay. Money thing's always weird. You don't want to make me feel like I'm obligated to never do anything. Like if people are comfortable with it, it's fine. But I don't ever want to be like, and so you can get extra. What are they called? Like bonus stuff if you pay me money. Like I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. There you go, boy. What is me? Hi, Dan. Everyone give Rufio money so she can color her hair Twitch purple. You know, at one point before I had 1,000 followers, I said if we got 2,000 followers, I would like put like red highlights in my hair. Wow, Blackboard, thank you. This is 6th one today. Thank you. Anyway, I did that, and then I started getting a bunch of people joining. I was like, never mind. Then I got rid of it. So you know, my hair's very not red highlighted. And like the red highlights would have came from like Rufio from Hook. Premium Rufio. Feels weird to you too, man. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, your finger slipped. Right. That's how that works. My finger slipped to my bank account, and when I typed in my credit card number, slip. Whoa. Dude, I want to like have enough money someday that I can just be like, oh, here's a bunch of subs. You know, that would be nice. That would be exciting. Someday. It would be so like, what if I got this job, and then I got money, and that would be so exciting because like, I could pay back my debts. I could buy a rug. I'm such an exciting adult. Oh, really, Rascal? You're right, Born, but this was before I started that. But it was just because like I was really going for like Rufio vibes. I don't even like the color red, but it is like my theme color here, so that's cool. Um, but it was just like, you know, Rufio has like red, red. If I get the Ruckles, if I get this job, am I done streaming? No, I'm not streaming to get a job. I never was. It was streaming because I couldn't get anything done, and I was like, and now I just do it because it's my social interaction, not just, but I could get like a whole pallet of toilet paper. Yes, 2 rugs, one for the floor and for the wall. Oh, no, I could get, one for the entryway. I could put some stuff on the wall. I could get a what's it called? Silverware holder that fits all the silverware that I have. I have too much. I don't know how I have so many silverwares. I could get yes, I ran out of things to get. You only give subs to see the little gift box open. Money is diminishing returns, but you definitely has made things way easier for you, earning more, and you like going to local shop and not checking all the prices. That would be nice. You don't have to worry about the surge charge for guacamole. True. What is your favorite color? Is this a mirror universe situation? What's your least favorite color? That's so funny. Why isn't your color red then? Imagine buying 2-ply toilet paper. Yay, only having internet friends team. Everyone else is too exhausting. You think I would look good in red? Maybe. But the thing is, once you dye your hair, you have to keep dyeing it and dyeing it and dyeing it, or else it looks really bad. So, I could kick my butt. You just want enough money to move back to California? Wait, what is it? Does it sound like a cool job? The job that I could get maybe tomorrow? That's why you stopped constant money to recolor. Yeah. You know, I used to follow a streamer who would just put on wigs. That seems more sustainable, but I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Let me see if I describe the job I'm interviewing for tomorrow. I can read it again if you want. Oh, wait. Actually, I think I got rid of it. Damn it. It's so hard to find. I also got someone on Friday, a recruiter on Friday, who was like, hey, not the job, so I have that maybe happening as well. That'd be exciting. You dyed your hair red and had to cut it off. Woof. Your least favorite color right now is probably gray. Okay, okay, this is ironic because of the background right here. My least favorite color is orange. Like, I do not like orange. It is not. My favorite color is blue. And you know why it's my favorite color? When I was little, my favorite color was pink. And I told my older sister, who I thought was the bomb diggity, and I was like, sister, my favorite color is pink. And she's like, well, my favorite color is blue. And I was like, oh, shit. That's not my... And so I was like, okay, my favorite colors are blue and pink, blue and pink, blue and pink. And I would just tell people that even though it wasn't true. And then after some amount of time, and I don't know how long, I was like, older sister, guess what? My favorite color is blue, just like yours. And she was like, my favorite color is green. And I was like, oh no. And I was like, blue and green, blue. And it just didn't work. Blue's been my favorite color ever since. Shadow roots? Aww. Maybe it's just me and you, but you really feel like I'm gonna get a job soon? Well, thank you. I hope so. Your favorite is purple, CD? Nice. Tangerine? Mine, you don't like orange? Yes. It's because orange is just, no. But are eating oranges? Oranges are bomb. You like pink a lot lately? Pink's a nice one. You dislike beige. I do remember the guitar being pink. But you need to be purple now. How long have I been job searching? Actively since like April. Actually since January. I haven't gotten a job yet, but I feel it. I feel it coming. And it'll be so exciting when I do. And then I'll post it like, everyone saved me, thank you. And it'll be great. And then I'll have a job, and then I'll have made it, and that'll be good. And that's not just a daydream, I'm sure. Okay, now I have to see what this color is. Blackboard, wait a second. Oh, lime green. Nice. That is a nice mix. Warren? Should be purple now. You are purple. Is the job front end or back end? Oh yeah, I was totally supposed to read this to you. Okay. It says, the role is a contribution model where you would potentially contribute code to any of the 13 components that make up the platform. Another aspect of this role is working with business units on their migration requirements and building any required tools to assist with onboarding, like data migration tools, seeding tools, access tools, etc. Or contributing code to existing components. You'll build connectors between the existing workflow platform and the new platform, and it revolves around TypeScript and JavaScript. Thanks, man. Thanks for dropping in. Interesting puzzles to solve. I don't know what any of that means. What does it mean? Is it gonna be back end? You know what? I feel like I kind of like am down with that though. Like initially I wasn't, but I feel like yes now. You know what I'm saying? Sounds kind of vague, but you're guessing they're migrating from an old code base to a new one. Probably. And like this wasn't the original team that they like asked for or that they reached out for, and so I'm just like, I don't know. Not as good of vibes, but it's okay because I'm gonna crush it anyway. I don't believe that inside, and I need to. It was just so itchy once again. So you're doing your current contract, migrating to a new system. Do I have any musical talents? I played the piano growing up, hated it. Played the flute for 2 years, liked it. Played the violin when I was little, and I hated it. Played the cello for a year. It was fine. Didn't like the teacher. That's about it. Can I drum a beat? No. Sounds like they want me to be able to make or contribute to internal tools. Okay. You don't think it's just old code base to new base? They mentioned migration, so they're probably going to have me do a lot of work with APIs. Oh. Wow. Wow. I always wanted to like play saxophone after I joined band, and then I didn't, so that's cool. I like to imagine me playing the harp. You know, I wanted to play the harp when I was little, but I gave up instruments so much. My mom was like, I'm not dropping all that money on a harp and you quitting it, and so I never did. Transfer a bunch of records from one database to another. Okay. Saxophone. So buy a harp now? No. I would much rather be. So music's always been fun, but I think singing is like the coolest thing ever. And I cannot sing very well. Like, I'm fine, but dude, to have enough money to pay for singing lessons, oh, that would be so great. My sister sings like an angel, and I too want to sing like an angel. You have 6 experience of playing We Will Rock in your school desk. You did music at uni, and for brief weeks you had a harp player in your band. It was a nightmare getting around the wolf. Is someone who plays a harp a harpist or a harpy? Harlan. You love singing so much. Super therapeutic. Ryan, you're a choir kid. I hated choir. I don't know why. Like I was in it for a year, but like I don't know. I just think like voices are the coolest things to like. That's like the coolest instrument because you carry it with you everywhere. And when someone sings really well, you're like, hot damn. You know what I'm saying? Just thank you for the sub, Dan. You could totally learn to sing. Your voice is just muscles. I could learn, but a couple things. One, I don't have money. Two, where do people practice? Like I have like neighbors. Oops. Yes, that's how this works. Oops. Y'all are too nice to me. But someday maybe I will be an amazing singer. Whoa. Stop finger slipping. Thank you. Appreciate it. Here I'm like ranting about singing and my friend sings really well, but I've only ever heard her sing once, and I was like, what the hell? What? Girl, you know? And then she never sang again, and I'm like, sing for me, my angel of music, you know? What I do with my sister, or I did during the pandemic, we would reenact all of Phantom of the Opera and sing it together. It was a good time, then I got tired of it. Phantom of the Opera is the OG, though. Being able to sing is always the most impressive. Like, I can be like, Wonderwall, but people are like, oh, that's nice for you. Yeah. I got recordings of me singing? No. Mm-mm. Of a Phantom? No. We just did it for fun. We'd have like the musical playing in the background, and then we would sing with it. Favorite Phantom song? Ooh, that's a good one. I've always really liked Phantom of the Opera, honestly. Yeah, I think that's my favorite. And then I like Point of No Return as well. You have some music videos on YouTube from a past life. You wish you could sing. You sing anyway, but your voice sucks. I do not, Blackboard. What is your favorite, Grant? Oh my god, that is such a good musical. Have you watched? Okay. Have you watched the one with Ramin Karimloo? Karimloo? I can't remember his name. It's been a while. But oh my God, his voice. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so good. It's so good. There's some parts where I'm just like, exquisite. Anyway, at the end, I can be done ranting now. Masquerade, really? But that's okay. Happy for you. The charismatic voice channel. What is that? Did you see the singer the UK had for Eurovision? The song was trash, but he's such a good singer. I did not. I never watched Eurovision. The only person you listen to in your voice range is Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails. I don't know the people. Creme de la creme. Watching us, watching them. Yeah, I don't actually know the words to that song very well, so sorry I can't sing more. I have not born. Should watch some of his TikToks. I'm morally opposed to TikTok, so I don't have one. But also, that's the only place I can find a Scottish parrot now. They took him off of YouTube. He is, yep. Opera singer does vocal analysis of various songs and genres. Wow. That's it. Faces. But who can name the face? There you go. You can sing a little. You're recruited to every school singing thing. Nice. I can sing well. I never do it in front of people, though. I don't know why. There was this one time, so I did find out a way to take cheap singing classes in college, and I only did 2. But there was this one time I had to do like a recital, and I was like, damn, I am not a theater kid or a singing major, and I was first, and it was like the rest of the students, my teacher students were in there too. How about that? So I got up in front of everyone, and I was like, my voice sucks ass. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do my best. And I think I did pretty well. The next person that got up, oh my God, she was so, like, genuinely bad. And I was like, oh, what the fuck was I apologizing for? And then there was, like, one person that was probably better than me, but, like, people, like, why am I always apologizing for these things? Anyway, change the chat color. Your director brought in semi-pro opera singers to sing. Someday I'll be amazing at singing, and then I will find a place to sing where it won't bother other people. Dang it, Grat. Now I have Masquerade stuck in my head. Dimash? I have never seen. Dimash? Dimash? Who can name the face? Masquerade! Paper faces on parade. Could do open mic. Oh, that would be interesting. You just want enough money to make a little movie and pay people to act in it. Really interesting. I really like acting. I never did that though. Well, I briefly did that. I remember I always wanted to be an actor growing up, and then I took an acting class, and I was like, you know what? Nah. But I don't know. I feel like just a little bit like streaming like fits into that niche because I'm in front of people, you all are paying attention to me, and I'm like, oh, stop it. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't have to like go up and act in a movie or whatever. So I do like it, sort of. I really love writing screenplays. That's awesome. I am so bad at writing plots. I've been acting online. Okay, I'm trying to think of who I should legitimately be. I'm actually like a complete asshole and like I can't even. I don't know who to be. For background in film, ooh, 100 Devs movie or programming movie. Matrix. Okay. You know when there are movies and they're like, we need to hack into their system. And then someone's like, okay, I only took one class in college, but I think I got this. They go to this super complex system and they're like, we're in. And you're like, and then you think about like you programming and you're like, you sit there and you're like, why isn't this working? For like 5 days. And then after a while you're like, I was missing a semicolon. What the hell? Like, as if that's how things happen. Now I just can't even watch like fake coding scenes because I'm like, unrealistic. Everyone had to have to sit down and watch as they failed. Actually, a bot. Nice. I've never watched Mr. Robot. Brent Smith from the band Shinedown. Shinedown. Yo, Grat, Blackboard, do it. We will stream it on this channel. The hacker used 1 pixel solid. Oh my god, it's so annoying. But like, what if we made, okay, it wouldn't be interesting, but what if we made like a coding movie? It wouldn't be interesting because it'd be like, have you figured it out yet? And they're like, no, I can't figure out what's wrong. And then they all kind of like stare at the computer like, have you ran a linter? And it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize, Grat, that you did that to the tune of Call Me Maybe. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna say it this time. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but we could collab and make a movie. I almost did the original ones. That's so good. I like that. Yes. I'm really good at making parody songs, I think. Free publicity. Yes. Have I read the book Coders? I was reading a book about coding and then I got bored. The White Buffalo. You're actually going to be writing season 5 of Stranger Things for fun? Nice. Fanfiction is great. Not good at it, but I did NaNoWriMo, or tried a couple times. I did it like in 2020 and got like the 50,000 words. But I just couldn't figure a plot out, and so like once I hit 50,000, I'm like, I'm done. And it was at the end of the book and I didn't even finish it. No regrets. No regrets. I haven't watched Stranger Things because it's scary, I'm told, and I don't like scary things. I started playing Inmost. That game has scary things in it, and I think I have to play it on stream because I can't play it by myself. I got scared. Why is it that every time I'm gonna end stream, I just end up ranting forever? Why is it so enough? Well, I'm glad you like it, Born. I will not watch it though. I just do not do scary stuff. I just don't need it in my life. It gives me nightmares. Can we gamble? Sure. We can gamble. Do you have your spinner you originally sent to me? Because every time I use one, it kind of sucks. No, you're not a failure, Born. I haven't done a Code War in a week, so. Yes, we are gonna gamble. Gods versus heathens. But I need a good spinning app, and oh, thank you. Thanks. Appreciate you contacted me. I know I'm no longer interested. Stop contacting me now. I will contact Attorney General if you do not stop. Thanks. I will listen, Born, just not on stream. Alright, gods or heathens? We're all gods here. It's okay if you pick heathens. I will warn you though, if you pick the majority, you will lose. That's just how it goes. Every single time. Sorry. So it will be above your chat. You can gamble as much as you want. It'll be open for a minute. I'll go. Thanks for follow IBK. And I'm going to set up the spinning wheel. Okay. Let me make sure these are equally an equal amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. There we go. Oh, where's my chat? Oh, there's okay. Right, looks like it's about to end. Okay. Let's run this thing. Gods. It's gods. Let's see if it has proved. Oh, yes. Let's see. I want to see what the stats were. Y'all, the majority actually won this time. No way. That's the first time that's happened in like 5 of these. I'm sorry, Scotty. You should have points. It should indicate them down where your points are born. So, Grat, you were like 6,500, and then you got 8,200. Wow. Born, you put in 2,120, and you got 2,676. Nice. Dan, you put in 1,000, and you got basically 1,300. Wow. Scotty, Ryan, I'm sorry you lost. Biggest loss. I respect Blackboard and Mavi who like bet like 10. That's exactly me. I do that. Nice. What did you win? You won 2K. You wanted a lot back because you want that postcard, and it worked out for you, it looks like. So you should have like 4K now, I think, Born. I don't know, how does it work, people? I barely do this myself, so. Or I like never gamble. I'm so not a gambly person. Oh, my head hurts. Why? There you go. People in chat know clearly more than I do here. It said you won some. I'm not sure. I don't know how it works. But you did win that time, so that's cool. Takes points from one side and distributes them amongst the winners. Oh, interesting. I did not know that's how that works. Wait, I'm gonna bookmark this spinner because I always look for spinners and I lose them, and we like good spinners. So if one side bets way more than the other, not everyone double spins. Interesting. Okay. All right. Let's rate someone. Should you try to stream some of those neat good questions tomorrow? Yes, do it. I will advertise it. I might not be there because interviewing and driving to Idaho, but like you should do it. Yeah. Oh, why didn't that work? Here we go, there. You're not streaming right now, but I still have that command. Go follow Dan for tomorrow, where Dan will do Neat Code, Lead Code. Born, Dan was on last week, remember? Alright. So, who should we raid? Sean the Best has 0 people and is doing programming in JavaScript. Should we give, like, 40 people to Sean? Okay, so no one showed up to dance stream. No! Wrong! If you're hanging out here, you probably have shared interests with the other people hanging out here. Hey, be nice. We're supposed to be mellow here. Mellow. Can you get a sword? I don't keep weapons in my house, I'm sorry. It's not a competition, Born. But, Rascal, in order to make a sword rusty, you have to have a sword in the first place. I don't have one. No weapons in my house. Nope, no such thing as a hierarchy. No. Wrong. Make you a mod of a Blackboard. No. Blackboard's a mod and is doing a good job, actually. I mean, I'm not checking. Normally, I love my mods, but a lot of times I still have to, like, be modding, and Blackboard, you're, like, the first mod I've had that I don't have to be looking at the chat. It's really nice. And, like, modding it. Ooh, if we raid Sean the Best, it says programmer, writer, fantasy, composer of orchestral music. Orchestral music, writing fantasy. Like that. Dev streamer, you're watching a series, send it over to a singer stream. Alright. Let's raid this person. It will be so exciting. They have 1 viewer and it's me, so. It's so cute. Alright. Again, not streaming on Thursday. I will be at a family thingamajigger. But next Monday in a week, we're going to have a recruiter on here. And we'll talk about recruiting stuff in tech, and that will be exciting. Anyway, have a good rest of your week, and I will keep y'all updated as to how the job interview goes tomorrow. And hopefully it will be a good situation. Hopefully I'll be like, hell yeah! You know what I'm saying? But let's go raid Sean the Best. Thank you, Grat. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Rascal, you're already over there. Okay, now we have to go over there because Rascal's there. Bye.